perspective, let's talk about just like the marketing aspect of junk food, right? And how, because I mean, it's pretty amazing that we have been convinced that some of this food is actually good for us when
That is a fantastic question. Yeah.
it's absolutely mind blowing, right? So like,
Yes.
just look at the added sugar on something. Yeah, you look at the nutritional label and it says added sugar 20 grams.
Yeah.
Per serving. Which, by the way, most people aren't eating a serving of cereal. They're eating 2, maybe 3 servings of that. So they're getting 60 grams
100%.
of added sugar plus the milk that they might be adding plus whatever else. But on the cover of that, on the front of the box, it's saying basically like, this is good for your kids, whatever, yada yada yada. Like
fat free.
Yeah, fat free, keto,
Yeah.
keto friendly. There's a movie, Super Size Me 2, which is a great flick on how Morgan Spurlock opens a fast food joint and gets all the labels on his food and shows you how ridiculously easy it is. Just like the marketing aspect of crap food, of junk food, like it's mind blowing to me that we're able to be that we have so much process on things that are good, supposed to be good for you, that are absolutely terrible for you, that are killing people, and we allow that, even though we govern, so many things. Like when people talk about like just the marketing aspect of how crappy food is. I mean, like, how do you backtrack something that we've been told is healthy our entire life?
Well, that's a great question. You slap the word protein on any box, and people will buy it like thinking like they're getting a serving of protein, which is just garbage. I have seen protein bars with the same calorie value as a Snicker bar. It just blows my mind, and people thinking they're eating healthy.
Oh, so Robert Irvine, the guy who from Restaurant Impossible, he has a bar out now.
Yeah, I've seen them.
So my wife and I watch Restaurant Impossible. It's a good show. There's a funny story about Robert Irvine that I will not tell you guys, but
all right.
It's, what is it? Not safe for work. Let's just say that. No, it's not that bad. But so I looked at I was at the grocery store. I looked at the bar. It was like 470 calories is this little bar. And I was just like, yo, bro, like, this is probably not what people should be eating.
No.
Like,
it is ridiculous. The same thing with oatmeals. And I mean, like I said, you put the word protein and people buy it thinking it's good, and it's not. It's just a lot better if you eat the chicken breast, an extra serving of chicken breast or lean meat. You'll get more protein out of it. If you feel more full instead of going with the damn candy bar that you're going to be hungry right after you eat it. It's not any better, and people don't grasp that. But in my case, I definitely encourage anyone to flip the freaking box and read the nutritional labels, because it's there for a reason and it's going to open your eyes. A lot of people don't want to see the reality, but we eat way too much. It's very easy to eat 4,000 calories, 5,000 calories in a day. It's not hard. I've done it.
Do you have when you talk to clients, do you have an education period to say, hey, this is what the labels mean, these are the things that you need to look for, this is fact, this is fiction?
Yes, I do. That's part of my onboarding week, so to speak, from the app that I use to deliver content. But yes, there's a section of it explains to you through them, what are the macros, protein, carbs, and fats, the values, the calorie value, how to track them properly, how to weigh it properly, if that is the approach that they want to follow. A lot of people, they're kind of scared of following the approach. Some of them stick to portion control using the hand method.
That's the method, dude.
No,
portion control is mine.
No, Andre. I look at him. I look down and I see Andre the Giant hands.
It's different, but everybody's different when it comes to tracking the nutritional value. But definitely, any user, just look at the label and your mind is gonna be blown. And I don't understand, because the information is there. It's just people don't want to face the reality. That's all it is.
Okay, so
I don't know if it's a generational thing, but I mean, like for me as a kid growing up, we couldn't leave the table unless we finished our meal. Like
that's
you don't leave food on your plate. So even to this day, I'm like, man, I got to pack this last bite down because I
is that because you had to get all the value in it and your parents were teaching you that way?
That's a good question. But I was raised the same way. You don't leave the table until you stuff even if you're full, you're not supposed to
Because what was on your plate and what you ate are two different things, I guess. Could
Eat all
be,
you
right?
want,
I mean,
but eat all you take is.
We just lost our cues when it comes to actually feeling satisfied. That's another thing that we live in a society where, you guys know, there's food advertisements, radio, TV, internet is consume, eat 24/7. Come on, there's a Food Network show where you sit down and there's nothing but eat food. It's we're primed to consume because that generates money.
So maybe that's the answer. It's money, right? But like,
exactly.
This is the statistic, right? I mean, I think I'm not fact checking Doug Hack, who I don't know, but I think it's your friend Tim. Like over 400,000 people a year die from obesity. On the news, nothing about it. Like, what is it? Because there's no money in that? Why is that not something that people push? Well, actually, let's just put it this way, right? I'm not going to try and put myself into a bad situation by saying this, but just under 700,000 people have died from COVID, right, in America. This statistic says 400,000 people a year have died from obesity. Let's just say those are generally the same statistic. Those are basically the same number, right? About 500,000 people a year are dying from this thing, whether that's COVID or whether that's obesity, right? Why is one getting way more publicity than the other? And it seems like in some cases, the solution is very fixable by the thing that you do for a living, which is fitness. Why is obesity not sold the same way COVID is?
I don't know. I will imagine because let's go back to the beginning of this broadcast. Pharma, it's a big money maintaining people, get this pill for this, get this pill for that. Let's treat, because there's more money treating someone for, cardiovascular disease or all this horrible.
Yeah, but it's not like gyms. It's not like there's not money in gyms. I mean, Peloton's on there like crazy. You got. I mean,
it's a different mentality for those people as well. I will imagine. I got Peloton.
And I think that there's some legal aspects as well. Like you can't, if you're talking about calling people by name as being obese or whatever, I think that there's some legal aspects, and today everyone stays away from it. It is
okay. I mean, as a person who used to be obese, I mean, it's pretty obvious to know that you're obese. And I don't. I mean, if you
I was the same way. Yeah,
you can't handle that. I mean, that's a completely different story.
I
can look in. I mean, I can look in the mirror and say, "Yep, you're fat." Like, come on. Like that's. I mean, what do you want me to say? I mean, like
I agree with you, Zack.
For a long time.
It's just.
I showed you the pictures.
In the same light, if you were to profile all the CEOs of the Fortune 500 companies, Fortune 50 companies, whatever the number is, and if you listen to what their regimens are every morning, they're all waking up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. They work out, they meditate, they watch their diet, and all of them are they're fit, and they prioritize that. And just like with life, you have to make sure that when your business day is 12, 14, 16 hours long, that's a whole nother kind of endurance that you need to make sure that you're able to maintain.
We can't do that on Lay's.
No, you cannot do that on Lay's. That's correct.
Right.
It's priority. We all, like I said, we all have the same 24 hours in the day. It's just what we do with those hours that is going to set you up for success or not.
Someone who's been directly involved within the startup community for almost a decade, I want to talk to you about a serious pain point. Spending a ton of time trying to understand the business landscape in the 757. That's time that should be focused on growing the business. At StartWheel, we're here to help you by compiling all of the news you need to know about in one place. Now there's no need to search multiple websites. Just head to startwheel.org and see for yourself. That's startwheel.org.